Hi there everybody, it's Kathy Champion and I'm your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Gastonia, North Carolina. Welcome into my channel, and today we're going to go ahead and look at the paper pumpkin again. And I've got a piece, one of the card bases right here, and with these pieces here I went ahead and measured, so 3.5 this way and 3 3/8 this way. You can do so much with these little pieces, so I'm going to show you some alternate ways to use your paper pumpkin kit to get even more bang for the buck. Now this is 3 of the card bases, and of course you get those lovely envelopes as well. And here's our card bases. Now remember, we can use them in landscape or portrait. It's whatever you seem to like the best. So, but I'm going to show you how we can take one of these and even make more out of it than what we have here. This is the rich razzleberry. I also pulled out a couple of pieces of cardstock that I'm going to use, and as you can see, this is the rich razzleberry. So it is falling in the rich razzleberry family, but you can see that the color is a little bit richer here than it is here, but it is in that family. But I'm going to show you how you can pull in some of your other papers, like the Calypso Coral and the rich razzleberry, and maybe even some white pieces to extend the how far you can make this cardstock go, or this kit go. So I have my little mat out here because we're going to do some stamping. But before we do that, I'm going to cut this down and I'm going to show you what we can do with this. Don't be afraid to take your kit apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this right to 4 1/4, and that should allow me to slice it right on that score line. And you might want to go in and just trim that away just a little bit. But now we're going to put this in like this. Now we know that this piece is 5 1/2, so we're going to cut this at 2 3/4, and that will cut it right in half. 2 3/4. Now we have 2 pieces that we can use on a card that will add so much to our card. You can also pull out some crumb cake or some petal pink, or the the petal pink. I think the blushing bride is going to be a little bit too much. You also have this piece that you can cut in half and use as another accent piece. But let me show you what I had in mind. I took one of these and I used the stitch nested label dies. And that's these right here, and I used this one right here, and I cut that piece out, and it's beautiful. It's stitched all around. This is going to make a really pretty accent on one of these card bases, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Now all of the supplies that I used to alter these cards will be listed below. The only thing that I'm really pulling in was those dies and the extra cardstock, and I'm going to do maybe a few gems, but I'm going to show you how pretty you can take and make one of these cards just by, let's see if we can ground him on here. Now this is the bear that came with the punch outs. You get the little sheet of animals like this, and I punched one out. Actually I punched a couple out, but that was this one right here. And I punched out the flowers as well, because you also get a sheet with your flowers on it, like that. Aren't those pretty? But you also get a bouquet of flowers in your stamp set. And I stamped those in the rich razzleberry. And all I did was stamp them in rich razzleberry, and I colored them in using just jade. And I thought that was very pretty, the way that made the leaves kind of pop. So let's take this piece and lay it right here. And I'm going to take that bear, and I want this to look like he's being anchored, because you know sometimes we need some anchoring on our cards. So we're going to put him, I'm going to bring this down to about 1 inch from the bottom of our card, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to sit him on that stitch line. That'll give you a great place to put him to make sure you're getting him centered. And I think I want him to pop up, and I'm going to take this. This is just to show you how quick and easy you can make a card just by using what was in the set itself. I also have, I thought I had a piece stamped. I do, get well soon. And how cute would it be to have this little bear bring you some flowers if you wasn't feeling well. And they go in. And these are perforated, so you can lift his little arm up. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this together. I am going to take this piece first, and I know that I want him to be right on that stitch line, right in the middle of it. So I'm going to turn him over, and I'm going to use the Stampin Dimensionals that was in our kit, and I am going to pop these on here. Now I'm going to tell you, you get this little kit, and you are going to be so spoiled with using the Stampin Dimensionals that you're going to want some of these for your own craft room and your other projects. I promise. Alright, so I'm going to do that. And I think what I want to do is put him down here first. So I'm going to release these 3. I should have got my take your pick tool because I could wrangle those all up. But for right now, I'm just going to bring his little feet down and get him lined up right there. Perfect. I want to make sure that these flowers, I want to put one dimensional on the back of these, right here at the top, because I want it to go down on him, but I want to make sure that I tuck his little flowers under his arm like he's holding them. Just like that, and then I'm going to stick that down. That will give some dimension to the flowers and the bear. We are coming along. Now I'm going to take this card base, the Calypso Coral, and I am going to put him, like I said, about 3/4 of an inch, and you don't have to measure. You can eyeball it. These are some of the little dots that was left over from last month's kit, and I had them right here, so I'm going to use them to put this piece down. That's if I can get them on here. If not, we can use some regular glue. These little things are very, very hard to wrangle. Maybe I can use my take your pick tool. Maybe we can lift them off with that and get them on there a little bit better than what I was doing. I'm going to move this over, and I'm just going to pick these up like so. And I want one to go on each corner. Yep, that is working. These work really great. They're just a little tedious, but if you've got a tool like this to be able to manipulate them with, you don't usually have too much trouble. So I'm just going to put those down all the way across. And that's another great thing that is so wonderful about the Paper Pumpkin kit. You get stuff, you get more than enough of what you need to do your card. Now I'm just going to lift these little backers off. I'm going to try to get these wrangled, but I don't know how much I'm going to wrangle them because they are slippery little suckers. I'll tell you what, let's just pick them off. I'm going to pick them off using my fingernail, and I'm just going to let my excess trash fall on my mat, and then I can just take it to my trash can. I'm kind of a neat freak when I'm crafting. You wouldn't think it if you could see my desk, but I do like to keep a clean surface somewhat. I don't like a lot of trash around me. I think it kind of interferes with my my creativity. So if I've got a clean surface, it's sort of like trying to cook a meal in a dirty kitchen. I don't know about y'all, but I can't do it. I gotta have a clean kitchen before I start. We all have our little idiosyncrasies, don't we? Now I'm going to take these off. And before I go any further, oh, there he went. I knew he went somewhere he wasn't supposed to be. I'm going to move these, and I'm going to just tap my trash can and get those out of the way. And now I'm going to bring this down like I said. And you know, you can use your mat or your grid paper. We know that each one of these is a 1/2 inch. So I can put this about here, and I can kind of eyeball my bear and say, okay, I want him right about there. Now, isn't that cute? And I want this to be a get well card, but I want this to be maybe right about, trying to decide where I want my little get well to stick, and maybe right here. Bottom corner looks really good, and I think I am going to pop that up on the dimensionals, not those, but my actual dimensions. And I think we're going to need probably about 3 across this one, so I'm just going to do 1 on each end and 1 in the middle. And now I'm going to show you how to wrangle, which if you've been watching my channel, you know all about this. This was a tip that I learned from another Stampin' Up demonstrator. You know, because we all do learn from each other, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I am going to put this down right about here. Just like that. Now you've got a beautiful little get well card, and if you wanted to add a little bow to those flowers, you very easily could do that. Let me pull a piece of my Stampin' Up twine, and this is the linen thread, and I love that linen thread. I think it's so pretty, and it works so well for just making a little bow. So I am going to make a little tiny bow just by tying it like this and like this, and y'all are hearing my dog snore. You know my dog is always in here, or I should say my dogs, because they both are in here. Let's see if I can get my fingers going better than that. Let's see. We'll do it here and here. And then we are going to tie this like so. Like that. And then I'm going to pull this and make it tighter and get it just like I want it, making it smaller and then tightening it up. And yes, I did use a little bit more of the twine than I wanted to, but it's okay. I'm going to pull those knots down, or I should say the tails, and then what I want to do is maybe put just a little bow on those flowers right about there, and I just think that will tie those in. And you might ask, how am I going to do that? I'm going to use another one of these because these are small and easy to manipulate. So I'm going to take one off and I'm going to put it right about here. Let's see if I can pick it up on the bow. I've got it on my finger, as you can see. And nope, it's still stuck to my finger. Let's see, there we go. Actually got it on the bow, and I'm just going to press it right there. And now we've got a cute little bow. Now if you wanted to do something inside here, I want something that's going to coordinate with everything else, and I am thinking that maybe this stripe right here would be pretty. But look at this. We have envelopes that are gorgeous. And I'm going to show you how to use the paper from the inside of our envelope. That beautiful striped. And it's very simple. You're just going to cut your envelope open. And you're going to do this just by barely cutting the edge of it off. Maybe like a 1/16. It might even be less than that. You just want that to be right there in the edge of your trimmer. And you're going to slice about like that. Just throw that in the trash. And then you're going to come along this side and you're going to do the same thing. You're just going to line it into the trimmer and cut it down. And now you have this whole piece here, so we can very easily now slice this away by putting that right there. Let's come over just a hair more. I want to make sure I'm cutting all of that envelope away. And then I'm going to put it on the 4-inch piece. Or, let's see, yes, 4, because we know we have 4 1/4, so I'm going to put it at 4. And I'm going to slice it. And then I'm going to put it at 5 1/4 and slice it. Now look at this beautiful piece that we have to put inside of our card. And I'm going to show you how we're not going to waste this piece nor this piece. I'm going to save this because we've got more pattern here, but I want to show you, we are going to use a die, and we're going to cut out a piece for that inside. And why not use those stitched nested label dies again? That would be a perfect thing to cut out of this, and I'm going to use that larger one that's on the top. And I'm going to lay that down like so and bring it over to my die cut machine, and I'm just going to run this through. We don't have to worry because there's no pattern on that, so it doesn't matter how you run it through. We're just going to get that piece off so that we can stamp a sentiment. And I think that's always a nice thing. So out of that envelope, this is what I got. Isn't that pretty? And look how nice that's going to look on top of this to coordinate inside of this Get Well Soon card. And the white looks great, and so does the other thing you could do is use the white off of this. That would be great for cutting that piece, but we've already got this, so we're going to make this work. Let's move our trimmer. And now I'm going to use some press and seal, and yes, that was the envelope. That would have been the front of our envelope. And I am going to grab some of the press and seal, and I am just going to put a tiny bit around the outside edges. We don't need a whole lot, just a little bit. I thought it'd be really nice. Some of you have already gotten your paper pumpkin as well as myself, and I thought how nice would it be, you know, with the COVID and everything, a lot of us aren't going to be able to get together with friends and family like we normally would. So I thought, you know, somebody might want to do a little crafting. So I thought, why not bring some projects to y'all? And if you don't get to them, you know, during the Christmas holiday, because maybe you're making your own, let's see, these are the itty bitty greetings. I got these because I wanted to be able to use them on the little labels that came into the paper thing, the paper pumpkin. This is a celebration stamp that is coming up in our celebration catalog that will take place on January the 5th. and I'm looking to see, it's got a thinking of you, but get well soon. Thinking of you with all my heart. I love that one. And that's in the Peaceful Moments, and I have been using this stamp set like crazy lately. Thinking of you with all my heart. That is such a sweet message because, you know, when we don't feel well, it's always nice to know that we have a friend that cares about us. And I hope that if you have someone in your life that's maybe not feeling well, that you would think about sending them a get well card or just a thinking of you card. It can mean so much. I'm going to use that same rich Razzleberry ink because I do want to kind of follow through with the same ink. I don't have to use anything under that one because I'm using the cling stamps that already have their cushioning built in. So we don't need the cushioning of the pad. So I am just going to ink that up. I'm going to come over and stamp right there. Thinking of you with all my heart. I love that. Because, you know, we do give our hearts to our friends and our families and loved ones, and we want them to know that we are thinking of them. So now I'm just going to glue this directly down, and this time I am going to use a little Tombow. I'm not going to, well, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to stick with, I'm trying to limit the amount of products that I'm using, so I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal. You can use whatever adhesive that you happen to have, whatever your favorite is. My Stampin' Seal's wanting to bunch up on me. Okay, I think it's because it was grabbing it from the other part of my little piece here. Alright. And now I'm just going to put this down. And this is easy because you've got these little lines that can help you line this up and press it down like that. And there is a cute, cute, cute little get well soon card for someone that may not be feeling well. I think that's so super cute. Now some of the other things that we can do, let's take one of these card bases. And I think for this one, I'm going to go in this direction. And I'm going to take one of these, and I think I want to put it right about there. Right about there. Because I want you to know that you do not have to, you know, fall into all of these cards having to have the little critters on them. Yes, the little critters are gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But you don't have to do that. You can put some pieces down. And y'all know what I love to do? I absolutely love to place my pieces before I commit. And I'll tell you why. I like to do that because, and look, we're gonna color this a little bit. Let me move this over out of my way. And I'm going to grab my Just Jade, and I'm grabbing the lighter Just Jade color, and I'm using my brush tip, and I'm going to come in. Now I did stamp this with the rich Razzleberry, so this ink will move, so you want to be kind of cautious of that. If you wanted to color this in, I would say grab your Memento black ink, but then you have to remember your flowers are going to be black. You could use your Stampin' Right markers. Those are water-based and they will not move the ink on these pigment markers, or pigment inks, I'm sorry. Alright, so we got a little color down there, that's good. And that's all we need, just a tiny bit of color. And I am going to, I think what I want to do is put these together like this. Something like that. And we're going to use a sentiment across the middle. And maybe we'll say, hooray. We could use that, or what about this? What if we use our itty bitty greetings and just say, I miss you. Many thanks. This would make a beautiful thank you card. Let's see what else we have over here. Fabulous at any age. Hey friend. Let's see. How about sent with love? Let's do that one. I love these little greetings. This is a stamp set that if you get, you will definitely use it over and over because it is so versatile. Hey friend. Is that the one we wanted to use? Showered with love. Celebrate for you. Sent with love. I like that one too. Sent with love is pretty. Sending prayers. That one I love. Most of y'all, if you know me, you know that I am a woman of faith, and I am always praying for my friends, my loved ones, and I think this is going to be perfect. And I think I'm going to put it, let's see, I think I'm going to put it, I want it in the middle. I think I do want it in the middle. So I am going to grab a different stamp block. I'm just going to get one of these small ones because I don't need a great big one. I am going to make sure I've got this nice and straight. And I'm going to pick it up like that. And again, I'm going to use that rich Razzleberry because I want to kind of keep that theme going. So I am going to just kiss it. Alright, we're going to go with this and hope that it works. Alright, y'all can see what I'm doing, I hope. I've been trying to zoom in a little bit more. Sending prayers. That is beautiful and just what I wanted. Alrighty. I am going to clean my stamps, but I'm going to wait just a few minutes and then I will bring out my Stampin' Scrub and we will clean those up really, really well. So, what I want to do here is I want to put that right there. So let's go ahead and, I really wanted to just come to you and let you see that think outside the box. And when I say outside the box, yes, it's a pun. Think outside of your paper pumpkin box and look at your other items that you have in your craft room and then just create. Sit down and create. I mean, it is just paper, right? Right. So I'm going to put that down right about there and press it. And I think I'm going to pop these up because I want them to be one here and one here. But I want them to be popped up just a bit. So we're going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on those. And I think we're only going to need one. Right about there. And we'll wrangle those off. And I want to make sure that I've got them going in the right direction. Oops. Something like that. Isn't that pretty? I love that. I think it's so delicate. And now we can take and cover up those by just putting Stampin' Dimensionals. Now I'm going to put a little bit of my press and seal right here just to catch on there. But on the other side I'm going to use my dimensionals so that I have the same height difference. And you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as we put this down. So now we're just going to sit this right here, and I just want that to catch, and that to catch there. And there is another beautiful little card, and we could do something on the inside, or you could just write a personal note. Sometimes when you're sending prayers, just a note card is wonderful. So there's two cards that we've made that are totally different. One is sending prayers, one's get well soon, thinking of you with all my heart. So let's try one more. Now I stamped a couple of bears. I stamped this one with Memento, and I stamped this one using the Rich Razzleberry. And I went in and I did a little bit of shading and coloring as I did with this one. I think I really like the Rich Razzleberry one. So and I did fussy cut these, so they are fussy cut out. And I also used my X-Acto knife, and I cut just a hair around here, and I kind of got that idea from this one that already had the arm cut out. So I just used my X-Acto knife and was able to cut a little slit right there. And let's see, I have a little heart right here, and wouldn't it be nice if the bear was just holding on to the heart? I love that. I think it's so cute. And let's see how we want that. I think I want it like that. And in order to do this, I don't think that I want to put a dimension on this, but I don't know that I want it flat either. So how about, yeah, let's do a dimensional. Now again, this is just using the parts that came with the card, and I am going to put a dimensional right there on that side. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of the Stampin' Seal right there, and I'm going to pull that one off, and I want to get that right up underneath there, just about like that. And there's our little heart with our bear holding it. So cute. And now I need to decide. I think what I want to do is I want to use one of these circles. And do I want to do this? Oh, how pretty. And I think I want to use the seafoam, the soft seafoam, for a card base. I think that would be so cute. And we got plenty of room down here for a sentiment. So, oh, the other thing with these flowers, I totally forgot. I happened to see this over here, and that was why I brought these out. These are just some of the little sequins that you can pick up in the embellishment part of the catalog. And these have adhesive on the backs, which I love sequins that already have the adhesive. They make our life so much better. So I'm going to pull one of these up, and I am going to put it down on that flower. Flowers need a center, don't you think? I think flowers always needs a center. And I'm not going to do it on all of them. I'm going to do it about 3 of them on each bouquet. And maybe that one. And then the one going down, I'm going to do just a little bit different. So I'm going to grab my sequin, and maybe on this one I'll do one here, one here, and maybe one right there. And you know, there's no rhyme or reason to how you put anything down on your cards, but look at the difference that that little bit makes. Isn't that a beautiful card to let someone know that you're praying for them? Love it. I love it. So now let's see. This piece is 4 1/4. So I'm going to take this down to 4. And I'm going to cut away the piece here where the ridge is, where I cut it in half. So I'm going to bring that to 4. Now I'm not going to throw this piece away because this might be a piece that we can use. 4 by 5 1/4. And the same thing with this piece. I'm not going to throw that away because that's a 1/4 inch piece that we might be able to use. Now let's look at let's see. Nope, I don't want that color. I think I want the seafoam. Or do I want the Calypso Coral? Maybe the Calypso Coral wouldn't be bad. This is 4 1/4. So this is perfect. We just need to score this. So I'm going to score this in half at 5 1/2. No, baby. That is Toby. I think he thinks it's time to eat. So he's going to let me know that he thinks it's time to eat. Oh, alright. So I'm going to use my bone folder because I really, really want to get this creased really good. And I'm going to bring this circle over and decide if I want the pieces going. When I say the pieces, I'm talking about these gold lines. I think I want them to go this way. So I am going to glue this directly down, so I'm just going to use some of my seal. That's going to go up just a hair because I want to save room for sentiment. Now my bear, I'm going to use my dimensionals to get my little bear so he'll be popped up a little bit and look so cute. I don't know if y'all get as excited as I do when you get your paper pumpkin, but it is just always so much fun to get something in the mail that brings you joy. And because we don't always know what we're getting, and I try hard not to, some demonstrators get their kits before I do, and I'm not sure how the mailing out goes. I know I'm a good ways from Utah because I'm in North Carolina, as many of you know. I am going to stick him right about here. I think I like this one that says, "Hey there, friend." This comes from the Darling Donkey. This is another celebration item, and you will be able to get this stamp set completely free. This stamp set cannot be bought, along with a lot of the other items, but this is such a cute stamp set. You spend $50, and this starts on the 5th of January. For every $50 you spend, you'll get this free stamp set. And I also have a promo coming up for a free stamp set and die set that I think you will absolutely love. So hang tight for that because it's coming. Alright, I am going to use Hey There Friend because I like that. Hey there, friend. And let's see. I'm going to get a piece of that seafoam. I think it's really screaming for the seafoam, or the soft seafoam. And see, that color just really does go with it. It is a definite match to the envelope color as well. You know, we've got that other piece of the envelope. Let me pull that out. We may not have to do that after all. Let me see. We got this piece right here. I am going to stamp on the corner of this, and then I'm going to see if we have a punch we can punch that out with. And I think that'll be beautiful. Yeah, my Toby is telling me that it is time to eat, so I think I'm going to have to go and feed my baby very soon because he is determined. I think this time I'm going to go with the Calypso Coral. This is a beautiful coral color, and I think it's going to look so good on that seafoam, soft seafoam. So let's see how that looks. Yeah. I'm going to bring it right here because I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to be able to stamp that. That's perfect. Close my ink pad up, and let me grab one of my punches that we can use for this. And I am going to use the fancy label punch. I think this will give us just the little piece that we need. And this is what this looks like. And I'm going to slide this in. I think I am going to have to cut this off to get it where I want it, but let's just cut a piece of that off. And then we're going to slide this in like so. Once I get that about like I want it, the good thing about a punch is you can wiggle around until you find that perfect spot that you want to punch. And I think that's good. Ouch. You gotta be careful with these. You can pinch your hand, which I just did, but it wasn't bad. Any of these flat punches can be a little pinchy. See, it pinched right there, but it didn't hurt. All right, now we can take this and put that right there. Oh, I think I love this. All right, let's go ahead and use this dimensionals again. And they are right here. And I'm going to put one there, and one there, and one here. And this has shown you how you can make 3 different cards. And you know what I forgot to do? I was going to use that rich razzleberry on there, and I didn't. And you know what? It's okay, because this card is turned out gorgeous. Just plain and simple. And I think what I might do is put a few little gems on it. And I have these elegant faceted gems, and I think that these are going to be gorgeous on there. So I'm going to grab a couple of those. And my Take Your Pick tool. I love these. I think they're very, very pretty. They're going to go great with that Calypso Coral. So I'm going to put one right there. And one right there, just to look like that label is braided down. Isn't that cute? And then I'm going to use some of these more, I guess, muted ones. And these are so pretty. And I think I'm going to put one right here. And maybe a little one. Right there. Maybe another little one right here. I like to do that little 3 thing. And I'm going to do the same thing over here in the bottom corner. I'm going to put one right there. And another one And this one's just going to make me chase it all over the place. That's okay. You know, I say you don't have to rush when you're crafting. Half of the fun is the journey. So I say take your time. Let your imagination run. And let it just be some quiet time for you to reflect. Now I think I do want to put a piece of the soft seafoam inside here. So I am going to cut a piece of that. So let's go over and we are going to cut a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 inches this way. And 5 1/4 this way. And we're going to stamp inside as well. Pretty. But before I go any further, let me grab my ink, my little Stampin' Scrub. I love, love, love this thing. If y'all have not gotten one of these, I am telling you, you are missing out, because nothing cleans your stamps like that. Look at that. They are beautiful, and these have been sitting here for a little bit. So you can spray a little bit of your stamp cleaner on this little pad, and when you are ready to reactivate it, just squirt it with a little water. It brings it right back, and look at that. Ah, love it. So that one's ready to go back on its designated spot. And I love the fact that you can clean on one side and dry on the other. That just makes this a beautiful, beautiful. And there we go. Now, let's lay this back up here, since we got our stamps cleaned. And I'm just going to lay these over here for right now. And I want to grab those flowers stamps again. And y'all can see that I've used these because you can see the ink on them. And I'm going to use that Calypso Coral, and I think I want to stamp some flowers right there in that bottom corner. I think I'll just pick it up with this one. And Calypso Coral again. And I'm just going to tap that on. And I'm going to stamp one like this, straight down. I should have grabbed my little mat, but I didn't. That's okay. And then we're going to do one more second generation stamping. Isn't that pretty? I love that look. I love the look of one off and one on. And I think I'm going to do that one more time. I'm going to stamp on, stamp off, and I want to do this one just up here a little bit, like right about there. Yes, that's gorgeous. I love the way that turned out. So now this piece is ready to go in. We can stamp our message on here, and let's see what message we want to do. Life is better with a friend like you. That would be cute in there too. Let's see if that one will fit. Yep, it will. So I'm going to put thank you. Life is better with a friend like you. Isn't that? I love that. And we're going to do that with the Calypso Coral as well. So I'm going to grab this stamp block right here that will pick up both of these. And I am going to ink this up. Just like so. And I'm going to stamp that down right about here. Love it. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that this particular ink with this card because, again, I cannot sing the praises enough to Stampin' Up for their coordination. They coordinate everything for you. They take the guesswork out and they make making cards and 3D items, little gift boxes and little candy holders and all kinds of things like that. So easy and so much fun. So we're going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on the back of that and get it into our card. I'm still debating on whether I want to take a little bit off of both sides of this and make this an A2 size card. I'm really kind of bouncing that back and forth. So I'll tell you what, let me think on that just for a minute while I'm putting up some of my little stamps. That one goes on that one. And I'll have to find the rest of those. Oh, they go on here. I love keeping this little foam piece. Hang on to those when you take your stamps out and put your labels on. Hang on to that piece because this is a surefire way of knowing that you got your stamps back into, they're all back on there that belong, especially when you pull them off and you're doing, you know, several different things like I've been doing. That is a lifesaver. And I always lay this paper back over it like that so that, and I am going to trim this down. I am going to take about 1/8 of an inch off of this side. If I hadn't have put those gems on there, I could probably even that up a little bit more. Let's pick this one off. We can always put him back on. And I am going to bring my trimmer up. And I know that I want this to be a 4 1/4 inch card. Alright, I'm back. That was my husband. He was out doing a little bit of shopping and wanted to know what I wanted for supper. So we are getting a pizza. Alright, I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch off of, and you know what, I think the only thing I'm going to need to do is maybe take from this side. Let's do 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. Let's go 1/8 of an inch off of this side. And then let's go ahead and put this one in at 4 1/4. Just like that. And slice that off. And that will give us our A2 size card that we were looking for. And the only thing I got to do is put that gem back on and put our inside in. And here's our little inside. And here's our little gem. And you know what? I think with my little take your pick tool, you know what? I'm going to leave that right where it's at. And I am going to slide that back over right there and press it down. And now I think we just need a little bow. And I have some Calypso Coral that this might have been an older pack of ribbon that I've had, but as you can see, I have not used it. And Let's see if we can find the beginning of it. It's always the hardest thing on these ribbons is to find the place where you can literally get under it. There we go. Maybe. Oh, this is so pretty. Look how pretty that is. Oh yeah, this is going to make a beautiful little bow. So I'm going to do a little rabbit ear. Usually this type of ribbon is so easy to work with. So let's hope that I prove that statement to be correct. So I'm going to do my little bunny ears like this. And then all I'm going to do is cross them and pull them under through the middle. Just like that, and then tie it. Oops, got away from me. Let's try that again. Bunny ear and a bunny ear, and make them big. You know, if your ribbon is slipping, make them big. Make them big like that, and then tie it. Let's see if we can pull that one under, just like that. There we go. And then you can always adjust your tails after you get it tied like you want it. Just like this. Before you pull it tight like that, you want to make sure you've got it just like you want it. And that right there is perfect. It's dainty. It's just the perfect little bow for that. I am going to clip this tail and then this tail, just like that. And I am going to use a mini glue dot to put this on. And I think I want, if that bow was a little bit tinier, we could have put it in her hair and it would have been so super cute. That's okay. It's still a cute bow, and I think we're going to put it right there, right at her feet. And I'm calling her a her because she's got a heart. She's got a little pinkness to her, so I think it's a her. So I'm going to pick that little glue dot up just like that, and it catches the ribbon beautifully, and I'm going to press that down right there. Oh yeah. Now I am going to turn this over, use a little bit of the Stampin' Seal, and we are going to have 3 alternative cards out of this kit. Now when you get this kit, you will have the instructions on how to do your the cards that they intended for you to make. That's all laid out in your little pamphlet. So these are extras, and look at that, and that inside is as pretty as the outside. I love it. So here are our, let me get my mess out of the way. Here are our 3 cards that we made. And I'm going to put that one in the middle, only because it's a little different. Aren't these gorgeous? I love the way these turned out. And this one we could very easily put some gold foil on it if we wanted to. But you know what? I don't think it needs it. It gives it just a little bit of a different flair. You've got the gold here and the gold in that circle. And then you've got these beautiful flowers on the inside. So this one, I left it as a note card, but you can also put a piece of the rich razzleberry in here with a piece of white over top of it, and that would be absolutely gorgeous. And then of course we got the first one we did with thinking of you with all my heart and a get well soon. Such beautiful cards, and yes, these were all, they're very comforting. So if you have a friend or a loved one or a family member that needs to know that you love them and they need a little comfort, this Barely Comforting Paper Pumpkin Kit for December is just the ticket. So I hope that you will go on. I'll put all the information below about Paper Pumpkin, and you can go on. You have until January the 10th to order the kit for January. They're usually mailed out latter part of the month. So it is open now taking orders for the paper pumpkin. So go over, make sure that you tag me as your demonstrator, and I'm here for you. If you have questions, if you get your paper pumpkin and you just don't quite understand what to do with it, I'm only a phone call away. So I love you all so much. God bless you and keep you. And again, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. This will probably be my last video that will go up until after the holidays. I will be busy cooking tomorrow, and my husband and I with our 2 dogs will be celebrating Christmas alone this Christmas. But it's going to be a beautiful day, because this is the day that we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior. So as you're reflecting on the holidays and all that it means, do not forget that it's not about the sugar cookies and the stockings hung or the family get-togethers or even the big dinners, but it's about a lonely night when a virgin girl brought forth the Savior of this world. And he came willingly. God in the flesh came to earth to live amongst us and to die a physical death so that we could live forever. And what a wonderful gift that is. There is no greater gift than the gift of Jesus. So reflect on that this holiday season. Love someone and share that message with someone that you love. God bless you all. And until we craft again, bye-bye.